Hey, what's going on YouTube? So just a few hours ago, we had the new pure fiction game mode that was added to Honkai Star Rail, and I've already seen a little bit of kind of mixed opinions on it as a game mode. And some people said that they really don't like it. Some people are really enjoying it. And now that I haven't fully finished it, but I have gotten a little bit of the ways through it, enough to kind of get a general idea on how it's going to play. I just wanted to give some of my thoughts on it, and then also potentially give some suggestions for how they might improve it, or potentially even how they might make a very similar game mode to run alongside Memory of Chaos and Pure Fiction that will help other characters as well. So real quick, let me switch over so I can give you a quick look. So this is going to be the screen that you're at for this first round, and as far as I know, it only has 4 levels, so you know we have plenty of room to add more in the future, which is one of the suggestions that I would give, is so that way there can be either a more gradual increase, or you know, as we get more and more units, they can start getting harder and harder, or add weird different effects and stuff. But as of right now, there's only 4 stages. I'm just going to, on one of these, I'm just going to quickly jump into it just so you can kind of get an idea on what's going on. Very quick overview. You get points as you are killing each enemy. Enemies infinitely respawn as soon as they die. So you are just trying to basically kill as many enemies as quickly as possible, as you only have 3 cycles on each team to do this. So we are going to enter into this right now, and I'm not going to worry about, you know, buffing effects and stuff like that. I'm just kind of showing a general idea on what it looks like. So as you can see, up in the corner, we do have like the score that is slowly ticking up, and you can see that, okay, we are on wave 1 of 3, which is like the cycle. You know, this is going to keep going, and we only have the couple cycles in order to be able to do this. So this game mode is very, very, I would say, favorable to people who do follow-up attacks and who have big AoE ultimates. And because of that, a lot of the characters that we have been building recently with like hyper carries and stuff like that they work, but they are not fully suited for a game mode like this. So surprisingly, one of the things that, you know, people are not too happy about is that, oh, well, now I need to build units that I thought that I was never going to have to and stuff, which to me, I think is a great thing, because we want these characters to not just sit there and have no use at all. I think that it's really cool to be able to look at this and be like, oh, wait a second. You know, this Jing Liu is kind of a good example, where Jing Liu's abilities, while yes, they hit more than one enemy at a time, because you're not hitting the entire team, there are better people, and especially because these enemies die so quickly, as you can see, like they're just getting absolutely destroyed. It's not about doing the bigger number, because you're mostly just one-shotting them. You want full AoE. So for this game mode, one of the things that I actually suggest would be to focus on building like your Herda or your Himiko, or potentially people like Blade, where at least they have a lot of big AoE follow-ups and stuff. Pela is another great example. You know, Pela's ult hits everybody and then also does, you know, like the defense down. And so that's really great. One thing that people are not too happy about as well is that dot units are kind of iffy in this game mode, because the enemies die so quickly. Applying dots it's not very helpful, because you just have to immediately reapply it onto the next new enemy. And so for that reason, this game mode is very follow-up attack heavy, so you are going to want those units and stuff that do that. Overall though, I will say that for the first run, I do like it a lot. I think that for people who maybe are struggling with the higher floors of Memory of Chaos and getting those rewards, it's nice to have something else that, even if it's, you know, obviously, as you can tell, I can just, this is the first stage, I can just let this auto and I'm going to, you know, get a very, like a good score. But once you get into the later stages, like stage 3 and 4, you kind of need to start actually paying attention to which enemies that you're hitting. One of my suggestions would be, if we are wanting to potentially make dot units more effective for something like this, is I actually think you could take a very similar template, and instead of having all of these enemies that constantly die over and over and over, maybe if you were wanting to make dot units viable, you could have, for example, one of the propagation bugs, and maybe the normal boss itself has like infinite health or something like that, and as you are doing more damage, you are getting the points for the damage instead of the kills, and that would allow these dot units to actually build up the stacks that they need to actually keep dots on an enemy for longer than just a single attack and stuff. Because especially for people like Sampo, because you can't build up stacks of wind shear very quickly or basically at all, he kind of falls by the wayside. And so I think that is an interesting idea that they could do, because that allows, like, okay, Memory of Chaos is very kind of reliant and, you know, really favors like big, you know, hyper carry dual DPS. Like, you are just like, you need a lot of kind of strategy and planning. Pure Fiction, obviously a lot of follow-up attack people, a lot of big AoE stuff, and then I could see, like, potentially if they wanted to add a separate game mode again, they could do like what I suggested and focus more on dots, maybe doing like trying to break their shields a lot more and stuff. You get points for that, and then I think that would round out a lot of the different content, and that would require people to, you know, build a decent variety of characters, because that's kind of one of the things that Honkai Star Rail has been struggling with for the last, you know, couple updates in terms of the events and stuff that we have, is that once you have someone like a Jingliu built, or an Imbibital Lune, or Jingwan, or any of those kind of like big hyper carries, everything has been so pretty much easy for the most part. There's been no need for anybody to build anything else. And even for myself, I was able to get through the first 2 stages of this with my current team, no problems. But as soon as I hit the 3rd level, all of a sudden it started ramping up a lot, to the point to where I will need to go in and build my Himiko and build my Herda, because my Himiko is level 20, because I never thought that I was going to use her. And my Herda, I think, was at level 1, even though I have, you know, the E5 from finishing the simulated universe. So I think that it'll be interesting to see how this evolves in the future, or to see what people's thoughts are and if they liked it or not. But those are just some of my quick thoughts. I wanted another quick thing, because I know that some people were kind of worried that something was broken. For the max score that you can get for a run in general at all is 80,000. So 40,000 in the first one, 40,000 in the next one. I don't think it technically actually caps at the 40,000. I think you can go over, but then the next one will be, you know, lower to make up for it. And so it'll look like, oh, wait a second, like the, like, why isn't it counting up? Like, did something go wrong? Did something break and stuff? Which, no, that's not the case. It just stops at 80,000. But anyways, those were some of my quick thoughts. What have you thought of it so far? Do you have any suggestions? Do you like my idea about the potentially dot focused one? Do you have your own suggestions? Did you like it? Did you not like it? let me know. Also, let me know what teams you use to get through some of this, or, you know, what things that you maybe you wish would change and stuff. But anyways, I hope that you liked the video. If you liked it, please like, comment, you know, I really appreciate it and stuff, because I love making content for Honkai Star Rail. But anyways, I hope you all have a great one, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.